they thought for a long time that, like, I didn't like music because I don't like listening to it real loud, like, all through the house. But I love music, as I think most people do. I lost hearing in one of my ears for a really long time, like over a year. And so I thought that I had gone deaf in that ear, but it was just like really compacted. So when I got that blockage out of there and I got my hearing back, my ears have been so sensitive ever since. So it's just, but music is really important. Of course it is. It lights up parts of our brain that, aren't always lit. In your worst times, music can really express your thoughts or feelings when you can't, It can really speak to you on a deeper level. Music is like love, kind of. There's no language barrier, really. It's like with the opera. Like, you may have no clue what they're saying actually, but do you really need to? Anyway, I wasn't planning on making a video today, any kind of talk or anything, but I found myself having some minutes, so I thought I would. And I'm not trying to like piss everybody off. Like, I'm not looking to take a lot of hate. I have a lot of opinions that probably aren't exactly the most popular. But just because I think one way doesn't mean that I think that you're wrong. And that's what I think a lot of people get confused. Like, people are so busy arguing over who's right that nobody actually takes time to listen to the other people and see where they're coming from or why they may be coming from there, and I don't know. I believe that everyone believes just as strongly whatever they believe as you believe what you believe. So for you to be like, oh, well, this is what I believe and I'm right and you're wrong, well, they could just as easily say that to you. So, anyway. But because I wasn't prepared really to make any videos or anything today, I'm going to throw out an unpopular opinion. It's weird too, because like, didn't used to be an unpopular opinion, I don't think, but now it most definitely is. Okay, so just this year I started posting about politics on Facebook because I'm not stupid. Like, I believe what I believe, and I'm not looking for, if I have a question or anyone wants some advice, or that's one thing, but I'm not looking for anyone being like, you're wrong, this is why. I don't care. Like, I don't care about other people's opinions. Are not going to sway me, is what I'm saying. Like, I believe what I believe for a reason, and just because you're like, hey, I think you're wrong, I'm not going to be like, oh yeah, okay, I am. But I don't post about it usually because, because I'm not looking for hate or anything. Now, this past election has, really brought out just like some crazy thoughts and feelings. And I did end up posting, which is crazy because I don't do that, But anyway, a lot of my opinions I don't throw around because I don't want anyone to feel like I'm, saying that they're wrong or anything like that. Like, what I think. Whatever. Does it really matter? No. And anyone that thinks that they're that important, you're not. Doesn't matter who you are. It doesn't matter how famous you are. Like, mean, I understand a lot of the population is sheep, and so, like, people will just be swayed every single which way. Whoever the most popular celebrity is at the time, they're like, I believe that way now. It's actually really sad that people don't actually, like, have their own thoughts, opinions anymore. It's weird. It's sad. With that being said, I don't see social media as a place to, you know, air certain opinions. I mean, unless you're, you know, unless you're bored and you're, like, looking for a fight or something, then yeah, for sure. You know, if you have nothing else to do. But if you have, like, any kind of, a life, you know, or friends, or family even, you don't have time for that, you know what I mean? So, yeah. Anyway, besides the point. There was this thread one day, and it was like, the whole point of the thread was, the challenge was to post an unpopular opinion that you had, and then everyone else, all they could say is yes or no, you know, whether or not they agreed with it or not. And so I posted an opinion, which I've never done it. Like, that was the first time I was like, I know exactly what I'm going to say, and people aren't going to like it. Anyway, I said it. And people that agreed were like, yeah, you know, haha, whatever. But people that disagreed absolutely lost their shit. Like, they could not just say no. They couldn't. Like, it was like, I mean, it was like, it was absolutely insane crazy. People could not handle it. And I was just like, whoa, like, the world is so super sensitive now. Like, oh my God, I've always been so much more, anyway, getting way off topic. Did we have a topic? I'm not really entirely sure that we did, because this was unplanned. But anyway, so I really, really, really feel for kids these days. Like, don't get me wrong. I mean, I think every generation says that. Like, oh, you know, the kids these days, you know. And there are, like, amazing things and, like, not so great things, you know. Like, there are really confusing things going on in the world these days. These kids have to figure out, you know. Things that we took for granted knowing. For example, your gender. Right? Because we just grew up knowing that women had vaginas and men had penises. Like, we just grew up knowing that, you know? And unfortunately, our kids don't know that anymore. Like, just because they have a penis does not mean they're a dude. Okay? And also, just because they have a vagina no longer means that they are a female. I just feel that these are things that we must have taken for granted, you know, when we were growing up. Like, I can't, if I didn't, like, there are certain things in life that are just supposed to be sure. And, you know, they're just supposed to be, like, sure, like, some kind of security, and And that's just my opinion, too. So, because, I mean, there's amazing things about this next generation coming up, too. The Gen Zs or whatever, the Genzers. Because at first I was like, I hate these people. No offense. But then I realized, I was like, oh my God, my kids are Gen Z. Like, okay. So, because at first I was like, I don't get it. I don't understand. And I was like, oh wait, my kids are Gen Z. So I do understand. I understand a little bit, And while there are huge differences between the millennials and the Genzers, it's not like this vast ocean of differences. And, okay, so anyway, oh yeah, so I have noticed an amazing thing about the Genzers or whatever, right? A lot of them, like, they have no experience with drug use, like none. They have no experience with drug use. They don't drink, and I'm not talking about like everyone individually, just overall. I was so proud of myself. I thought I had made like some really good decisions when it came to my kids, because the millennials, we are a generation of drug addicts, okay? Like for real. And I guess I was really proud of myself that my kids, didn't seem to show any interest in that kind of thing at all. And they're teens now. But I guess like actually it wasn't just me. It's like as a generation, we did things a little bit differently. We informed our kids a little bit differently, and we just really made it priority for our kids not to fall into the same trap that we had, and that seems to be playing out really well, so that's exciting. But yeah, so anyway, here we go. Unpopular opinion. This will be, I don't know, Tiffany Talks, episode 2, rambling about teenagers and one of the most unpopular opinions that I have. Okay, here it goes. Oh, and let me just repeat, just in case you didn't catch it, not looking for hate, or like, I'm not looking to start a fight. If you don't agree, you don't agree. And that's fine. And if you do agree, awesome. Either way, if you like what it is, great. If you don't, then fucking throw it out. Whatever. Okay. There are, with the exception of one situation, there are 2 genders. Okay. There are males and there are females. Okay. This is hard. Now, there is a situation where the hermaphrodites, where they're actually born with a vagina and a penis. And in that situation, it's super sad because, I guess there is a chance that the wrong decision could be made. For sure, how do you know? What do you do? I'm glad I don't have to go through that. I've never been through that. I'm glad my kids aren't going through that, so that's great. But there are males and there's females, and then there's hermaphrodites. There are males. They have penises. And there are females who have vaginas. That's it. Like, that's all there is. There's no, I identify as a tree, and so I'm a tree. I identify as a man, so I can, go and piss in a urinal. I identify as a little kid, so I can go play the ball. Just, none of that shit's real. I'm sorry if you feel that way. That shit's not real. That shit's not true. Now, hold on before you get really pissed. Hold on before you get really super pissed, okay? Because I am not in any way saying that, do you see that? I'm not in any way saying that if you feel like you identify as the opposite sex, that's not valid. Totally valid. Like, if you're a woman and you legitimately feel like you should have been born a boy and you've always identified as a boy, and that's real. Okay, it is. And same difference. If you're a man and you've always identified as a woman and you feel like a woman, that's a real thing. That's real. Those are real feelings. That's really happening. Okay? This is where things get a little twisted. People have now decided that if they feel like the opposite sex, that they should have been the opposite sex, and therefore nature or God or something, I don't know, made a mistake. Okay, that's not, I know, I remember I said unpopular, okay? That's not right. That's not right at all. If you feel like you were born in the wrong body, or the wrong sex, that's a struggle, that's a real struggle, and I'm sorry, and genuinely, I'm sorry, but that's a mental disorder, not a physical disorder. It's not like I feel like a guy, so I should have a penis. No, you're a girl, deal with it, figure out how to think about it differently, or you're a man, deal with it. Things are so horrid now because our gender's not even for sure. We can I can identify as a damn, I can marry the ocean if I want, okay? If you don't see how that's an issue, then you're really, really part of the problem. It's really, really true. And, I cannot believe I'm just rambling on with one of my most unpopular opinions that I have. But it is the truth. If you have an innie, you are a female. If you have an outro, you are a male. And that is just how it is. Stop confusing our kids. I heard this one lady talking about on TV how kids should be able to pick their gender when they're 4 years old. Are you kidding me? Hey, you, that lady that said that on TV, if you ever see this, You're a fucking moron. You're a moron. You're an absolute, like, your brain isn't right. It's not working. I don't know. Like, before you start deciding that kids can decide if they're male or female, you should have some kind of brain surgery and see what parts of your brain is actually dead before you start talking on national TV. It's just... Anyway, sorry. I'm not trying to be nasty. In my last Tiffany Talks, it was about a miracle, or the power of prayer, and I really like to keep things kind of positive, like, I chair a meeting once a week, and this past week was like the best meeting. It was all positivity, and it was really, really good. In a room full of like 15 adults, a lot of positivity flying around. That was awesome, and I'm all about that. I really like to keep things upbeat, light, and positive. But yeah, this was not that kind of talk, and maybe nobody will see this. Maybe people will, and maybe some of those people won't agree, but that's the beauty of life, honestly, is we aren't all the same. We don't all agree. We all see things differently, and sometimes it's good to look at things from a different point of view other than your own, But anyway, sorry, I got like a little carried away, I guess. I really apologize for that. Sorry. But yeah, if you feel like you were born the wrong gender, you need counseling. Serious counseling, but not surgery. But to each his own at the same time also. I'm not here trying to say that you shouldn't be able to have surgery by any means. Like, if that's what you want and you can afford it, go for it. It's your life. All I'm saying is this world has really led a lot of us astray, even on some of the most basic things that we know to be true, like what a male and a female is. And it's just really sad. Anyway, sorry. I'm gonna get off of here now. But yeah, try counseling before you go under the knife. And it's cheaper. Counseling is cheaper too. It is. Trust me. Oh, and if you don't agree with me, feel free to let me know. But just remember that it doesn't really matter to me. So please don't attack. Okay. Don't waste your time attacking or whatever. Okay, so anywho. Thanks, everyone. You see, I'm gray today. I'm gray. Everything's gray. Gray hat, gray jacket, gray shirt. I look like a damn storm cloud. Alright, you guys. Peace out. Have a good night. Bye. It's funny. Oh. Sorry. Okay. Bye. Without you hurting me.